Let's now take you to Poland, where the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed earlier this evening. He was accorded a ceremonial welcome at Warsaw. Let me just play out these visuals for you. This is the first time in 45 years that an Indian Prime Minister is visiting Poland. This is a two-day visit and the itinerary is packed. In fact, early this evening, Prime Minister Modi paid homage to the Jam Sahib of Navanagar Memorial and two other memorials. This was a first by any Indian Prime Minister. In a little over an hour, Prime Minister Modi will be meeting the Indian community in Poland and addressing the community event. Some 25,000 Indians reportedly live in Poland. Of them, 5,000 are students. During the course of his visit, Prime Minister Modi will also be meeting business leaders in Poland and, of course, the Polish Prime Minister and also the Polish President. Let me just read out for you what Prime Minister Modi said before leaving for Poland. I'm quoting here. My visit to Poland comes as we mark 70 years of our diplomatic relations. Poland is a key economic partner in Central Europe. Our mutual commitment to democracy and pluralism further reinforces our relationship. I look forward to meeting my friend, Prime Minister Donald Tusk, and the President to further advance our partnership, quote unquote. Now, what's the focus of the Prime Minister's visit to Poland? Number one, trade. The bilateral trade between India and Poland is around $6 billion. These are official numbers. Business owners say the actual trade between the two countries is much higher, as a lot of cargo comes via foreign ports. Poland, in fact, is India's largest trading partner in Central and Eastern Europe. Let's just look at what India exports to Poland. The long list includes textiles, base metals, products of chemical industry, machinery, mechanical appliances, electrical and electrotechnical equipment, footwear, headgear, plastic, rubber. It's a long list. Indian companies have invested across sectors in Poland, from electronics, IT, pharmaceuticals, steel, chemicals. Indian investment in Poland is estimated to be over $3 billion. Polish companies also have a big presence in India. Some 30 companies are present across sectors, including sanitary products and cosmetics. Polish investment in India is estimated to be around $685 million. Defense will be a top priority in the conversations. Polish companies are reportedly looking to set up joint ventures in India. Also, India recently posted a defense attaché at its embassy in Warsaw. This is a country that played a pivotal role, remember, in helping India evacuate its students from Ukraine right after Russia invaded Ukraine. And one must also note that Poland will hold the next presidency of the Council of the EU. Analysts point out that for the longest time, India's relations with Europe were largely centered around the big four. That's Russia, Germany, France, Britain. And this has changed over the last decade. During his first two terms in office, Prime Minister Modi visited Europe 27 times. He also received 37 European heads of state and government. Just last month, Prime Minister Modi visited Austria. He was the first Indian Prime Minister to visit the country in 41 years. And India's External Affairs Minister also has actively engaged Europe. He visited the continent 29 times and received 36 European heads of state and government. India is reaching out to European nations beyond the big four, be it Austria or Poland, which, by the way, happens to be the largest economy in Central Europe and the 8th in all of Europe. Also, I don't know how many of you know this, one of the many things connecting India to Poland is yoga. That's right. Poland has a 100-plus-year-old yoga history. There are some 300,000 yoga practitioners in Poland, 1,000 yoga centers, 8,000 teachers. After wrapping up his visit to Poland, Prime Minister Modi will be heading to Ukraine. This visit is at the invitation of Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. WION is on the ground keeping you on top of this story and tracking all the developments. Let's now go straight across to our correspondent Siddhant Sibal, who is now joining us live from Kiev. Hi Siddhant, if you can bring us up to speed with what the expectations so far are regarding the Indian Prime Minister's Ukraine visit. What are you picking up?
Well, a significant visit of the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Europe is underway. Today, of course, is the day one of his visit to Poland, and the focus will be on his tributes to Jam Sahib, who gave refuge to Polish refugees in World War II, and tributes to Indian soldiers who fought in the Battle of Monte Cassino, a battle that later on led to liberation of Rome and the victory of Allied forces in World War II. He, of course, addresses the diaspora. Focus, of course, will be on his meeting with the leadership tomorrow when he meets the Polish President and Prime Minister. Now, essentially, focus in terms of Poland leg of the visit will be on defense, trade, strategic partnership. But from Poland, the focus shifts to Ukraine, where, of course, the Indian Prime Minister will be travelling. He, of course, will be sending a message of dialogue and diplomacy, and the fact that solution cannot come on the battlefield, something that the Indian Prime Minister had reiterated just 2 months ago in Moscow when he met with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. But essentially, India will be reaching out to Ukraine on 2 counts. First, of course, the second, of course, will be on reconstruction effort of this country.
Right. Siddhant, there has been a lot of discussion about the role that India can play as far as mediation in the Russia-Ukraine war is concerned. If you can just outline for our viewers what the discussions so far have been all about and what's really been playing on the Indian side on that front.
Well, in terms of India's engagement when it comes to the ongoing war, both with Russia and with Ukraine, the message has been simple on dialogue and diplomacy. But of course, when it comes to India's long-standing relationship with Russia, this is something that the world knows. India, of course, increased its energy intake from Russia when the war broke out, and that is something that the Ukrainians never liked. But today has been day one of WION team here in Ukraine, and I have spoken to several MPs. I have spoken to other people as well on ground, and they, of course, are pleasantly surprised and happy over the presence of Indian Prime Minister here in Ukraine on Friday, and they see it as an opportunity for further engagement and further support from New Delhi for the Ukrainian cause, especially with the fact that India participated at the Peace Summit in Switzerland earlier this year.
All right, we're leaving it there for the moment, Siddhant. Thanks very much for joining us on the broadcast. Of course, coming back to you for further updates. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.